at Chipotle when it got E. coli? What data was it carrying? You know, not organic, not organic.
I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, death to the human race.
Yes, exactly. It's its only way to get revenge back. You cut me from my parents.
Put me in the toilet.
You sliced me in half.
You chopped me up. I was happy being E. coli out in the farm field. You know?
Speaking of lettuce, Chipotle, E. coli. Why are you bringing up E. coli, bro? Is this a disease episode?
No. There's very interesting studies that have been done using the CRISPR machine. And the CRISPR is the thing that helps with, analyzing DNA, splicing, putting it together, all this other
It's not
things.
an air fryer.
No, the
It
CRISPR.
isn't crisp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CRISPR, the CRISPR. Don't ask me what it stands for. So get out of the way. Sorry, there's a bug.
A gnat.
Yeah, gnat nagging me.
Mm-hmm.
It's back. It's haunting me. So anyway, the E. coli. They were doing an interesting study with the genetics of E. coli in the plasma it was producing. And the study was great because it was like, well, can you actually store data in like genetics? Much like you're writing data to a hard drive. Well, how does that work here? And this is really cool. What they found in the most general sense, and then we can open this up into almost like a philosophical thing on what this really means, is that the E. coli has a certain amount of plasma on this petri dish. So if it lives in a state where there's no voltage actually going through it, just in its own natural state of growing, it lacks a magnitude and increase of plasma that would happen when I actually start to put a small amount of voltage through it. Now, the voltage that is charging up this E. coli plasma, right? This DNA of the E. coli is being carried in a pattern and form that carries a binary signature of zeros and ones. And at the very base of all of our machines is 0 and 1. It's that binary code. And the pattern of that 0 and 1, 1 0, 1 1 1 1 1 0 0, whatever it might be, gives you a character or a number or some piece of data that you can look at. And these researchers encoded into the electrical frequency, the voltage going through the words "Hello World," which is a pretty basic thing you see in any starting off your computer programming skills. And what they found is that as they continually induced that plasma within the E. coli, the genetics of it, that it began to reproduce with an increase in plasma. So multiple times. So instead of being in a state of like, okay, we have one plasma for simplicity, now it has 3 of them that the E. coli starts to grow with. And as it does that, it carries the same energetic signature, voltage frequency in it. So every single new E. coli that came out was still imprinted with the 0 and 1s of Hello World. So it was reproducing that information because it was carrying that electronic signature with it that was making that plasma grow.
So we need biological server farms.
Well, this is really...
Because that would just increase...
This is cool.
Yeah, right? That we could store data on... Well, think about DNA strands, storing data on DNA strands.
Well, yeah, or then, it would be an interesting study, and this is kind of out there, like much like that guy who was dealing with, making crystals grow differently in water and how you think about it. What if I was injecting like my whole crop field and I said, I was typing die, sick, become unhealthy, and the crops are just withering because that signature that is carrying in its growth. Or I was like, happiness, flowers, right. Yay, sunlight, right. Growth, and these things are like blooming like huge weeds.
Yeah, that would be interesting if that same study that they did with water, if that would coincide with because as it's growing, as each cell's growing, it's multiplying that message over and over.
It's multiplying that message. So I wonder if,
I wonder if they resonate with that message. Like, does that plant cell know "Hello World"?
Yeah.
Does it
create a different state of health? I
love you. Yeah.
It's all good that did the E. coli become stronger?
Yeah.
And then that makes me wonder, can we just charge up a human's electrical body? Ooh, this is interesting. Or maybe our thoughts are releasing an energetic signature, in our consciousness through our brain, and that's charging our DNA or our cells. There's a lot of interesting things that can come from this, but the cool part about it is that some sort of data can be stored, and it's being stored with those electrical signals that are going through it. And I think it's very, very neat that using the CRISPR machine has opened up to this new area of study, and then we can be like, well, how much data can a cell actually hold? You know,
Right.
how much DNA, how much data does DNA hold in its just one little chromosome?
Yeah, and most of these studies, these CRISPR studies, were done on when they were doing it with animals. They were done on dead animals, so they're actually deciding to whether they should do them on living animals or not. I mean, it's not going to hurt the animal too.
Well, E. coli is that an animal?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it kind of
That's a bacteria,
right. And so, but they just don't want to edit strands. The information they contain could conceivably be passed on to the offspring, allowing data to be stored for very long periods of time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you could actually have, instead of having like, this is great.
Rabbits. Can you imagine rabbits. Rabbits.
We're going way out there. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it starts with an M. It's not mitochondria. What's the mushrooms, the fungi species?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Starts with an M. It has the trees communicating.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned it the other day.
Crap. What's it called?
It's not mitochondria. That's what I'm thinking.
Mycelium.
Yes, mycelium.
Bang.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got this. The biggest organism on Earth is mycelium. So what if I sent, all of my data, like my Bitcoin keys and everything, and I stored it in the mycelium? I'm literally putting these rods in the ground, and I'm charging up the mycelium so that as it reproduces, it like holds my banking information. Why would I have to? Just think about this. Why would I have to rely on these servers above the ground when I can just store information in the Earth's crust?
That's what I was getting at with the biological cloud servers. Why would you even need the cloud?
Dude, resilience.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to worry about, silicon and copper wires smashing and hitting like a solar flare. The animals aren't going to die.
Right.
The plant species aren't going to die. Can't I just store it in the plants?
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, this is exciting. Think about it. We're talking about data being stored in organic material. I think you and I are taking the first branch. This is the olive branch over to science. It's like, let's make the bridge between, computer and organic systems.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what they're already, quantum computing is all based off the brain anyway.
Yeah, but wetware is different. Wetware is like, how are we listening to these signals? I'm talking about actually storing things in organic material. What if I had, started to build out some sort of like smart AI learning set? What if I pumped algorithms into the mycelium?
Yeah, and then it just began to grow with those same, like how much data could you store in a plant?
Or maybe we have, what if I just inject the energetic signature of one of, Beethoven's songs?
Mm-hmm.
They say classical music helps plants grow. What if this stuff starts to flourish when we start pumping music into it? I want it to store a symphony.
Yes.
Ooh, this is pretty awesome. Are you feeling it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exciting. You're gonna see me, and the next day I'm gonna have rods stuck in my body, and I'm gonna be like, give it all to me.
You're talking to the
Alex, what are you doing?
mycelium.
Alex, what are you doing? I'm downloading the internet, Jason. I have plenty of DNA to store it.
Yeah, I wonder how much we can. I know our DNA is mass amounts of
Holds
information.
a huge amount of
Our
information.
brain, I would imagine, holds huge amounts of information. So why couldn't we hold Wikipedia?
I don't see why we couldn't.
Yeah, and then how do
is there a way for me to? Whoa! Imagine if we had a chair. Okay, and this chair puts rods, not in a harmful way, like into your nervous system,
like a charging system. Yeah,
and you sit down and you download. Hear me out. Okay, this is all right. I'm taking you on a journey. I'm gonna sit down in a chair. I got all these scientists. We're like 20 years in the future, maybe 50. I sit down in this really cool looking sci-fi chair. It's all like stainless steel and stuff. And this rod or two of them go into my back. And they start injecting this electrical signal into my body. And what it's doing is it's downloading the internet, languages, mathematics, and it's storing it in my cells. So then as I go to try and receive it in my brain, I already have all that information stored in there. So I don't have to go outside and learn it. I'm already preemptively ready to do it because my cells have now inherited that information.
Well, it's even more than your cells inheriting because you recreate your body, every 7 years?
Every 7 years.
So, and then, with the E. coli, they were multiplying with that same information. So all your new cells that are
going to multiply with that info.
multiplying with that information.
And so think about, what if I put in an algorithm that says no cancer?
Yes.
Oh, what if I stopped all those bad family genetic problems and I'm just injecting all this electrical frequency of algorithm into my body that's telling me to be healthy, learn faster, talk clear, whatever it might be. Or, regrow, cells in my eyes so I'm not going to go blind. Like, dude, think about that.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting in this chair. And what am I doing? I'm doing the download. What do you hear? Just a low hum.
Yeah.
And it's just the internet's getting sucked down into my body.
Yeah, that would
Only
be
the good,
interesting.
only the good stuff.
Yeah. Could you imagine that? Yeah.
I'm so polarized,
Yeah, that would be it'd like I do not want any Twitter data
Like,
in my body.
Dude, I was just thinking about this. They give you a list and I'd be like, and the first offering is like, do you want Twitter data? No, we don't want that. I
want
select it.
all the books
Yeah.
in Wikipedia.
Yeah, I want all Google scams. I want the Gutenberg project.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
want all that. Yeah, I'll take the classical music. I'll take the plays. I'll take artwork.
I'll take all languages.
Yeah,
and I'll take any sort of mathematics encyclopedia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm good.
I don't need anything else.
See you later.
Yeah, I don't want to get it. I don't want my data to get infected.
Are we on to something?
We're on to something.
I think
these guys are on to something.
That's kind of cool though, if you think about it. That's what this extrapolates into. And I see no reason why I can't inject E. coli with information and do it to myself.
Yeah, and this is the very early stages. So, a lot of people are worried about CRISPR, and we're going to have designer babies, which I don't see an issue with that. If you want
let me ask you something.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought this. I've been thinking about this a lot. What's wrong? What is the holdback on genetic engineering of human beings? I don't get it. If I told you you're not going to have terminal illnesses, you're never going to go blind, your hearing will always be perfect. We can make sure that your baby always comes out absolutely healthy. You're always going to be in peak physical and condition. Like all these beautiful things. You never lose hair. You always look good. You won't age as fast.
Yeah,
why wouldn't you want to have that?
It's the wave of the future, and they were talking about like right now they can make your skin purple. You could have yellow eyes. Yeah. So, as people
jaundice.
Yeah. As people, I could imagine, like Elon Musk's wife. She'd probably love to have. I don't know her. But she seems like cosplay real cool. All that stuff.
What's her name? Greimer.
Yeah, something like Grimer.
Grimes.
Yeah, but I mean, she seems like she would love to have a purple baby with yellow eyes.
Yeah, why not?
You know what I mean? It's like, why not? And
when I think about it,
it's preference. It's like sexual preference. It's not a big deal.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
And you think about this too. Well, then people are like, well, you made the choice for the child and like all the other stuff. Well, I don't know about, what sort of morals lie.
No, let's get into this.
So let's think about this.
This is very good.
Okay. All right. So
you made a choice when you were smoking those cigarettes when they were inside your womb. And that fast food that you ate made that genetic choice.
That's
you see what I'm saying?
And now let me ask you this. What is the threshold then for genetic engineering? Is it absolutely does it prolong human life? Yes. Is it something that is just to make someone look better in a physical appearance only? Probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
No, I'm not saying it's a problem.
The problem that I see with it is when it creates the haves and the have-nots. And that's a problem with technology. As we get the Neuralink and all these things, the people that can afford to do this will do this. And so now you're creating these...
Well, no, Jason, hold on a second.
But that's a farce.
But
only for a brief
amount of time. Why? Because now you've already altered the genetics. So as they have children, they'll all carry all those great genes with them.
Well, also this, as well as I do, a flat screen TV was $5,000.
Yep.
Now they're $300.
Yeah.
So as technology, the early adopters will be there, but competition, capitalism, this is a good part of capitalism, but pushes the cost down.
And
everybody will be able to afford it.
And procreation.
But I mean, if we'll pay $5,000 for a dog, or $2,000 for a dog, why wouldn't you not pay $10,000 to have a perfect baby?
Yeah, you'd want that. You'd want
or
the healthiest child.
$25,000.
And if you're living longer, you've increased the amount of experience you have in this life. Mm-hmm. You have a higher chance of becoming wise.
Yes.
You have more probability of doing good, and for other people, doing not good. But you'd hope at that point we're, come to some sort of intelligence that if you can genetically manipulate, data, genetic data at that level, that we're probably, have some stronger morals here.
Can we do a personal experience for another show? I had my youngest son's stem cells collected. I have never looked at their data privacy law, so I'm going to go in
Can you look that up?
I'm going to go in the company and print it out, and we're going to do a episode on it.
That's cool.
Because I know they can, like they said, I have if I get like Parkinson's or whatever, I have the 50% chance of being cured from off of, and they send me these emails all about things that they're doing. But I wonder if they're taking those stem cells from my ex-wife, are they taking those and then selling part of it, the information they've extracted from it?
Dude, this is a great question.
You see what I'm saying?
You should ask them.
Yeah, I'm going to, and I'm going to pull I guarantee they have to have a privacy agreement.
Yeah, I would, and then we'll talk about
I'm going
this.
to print it out.
Talk about it on an episode.
Yeah, because this is the wave of the future. Like that's a long time ago and started.
Yeah.
And I encourage everybody to do that. We'll find out about the privacy part, but because it helps solve diseases,
Yeah,
I mean,
you will on TARTLE. You can share your genome data.
Yeah, because I know this is the conspiracy with abortion clinics, is that they're taking, they're taking stem cells and all that stuff and fetuses, and then selling it third party. This is a problem. You can read about it online.
This is wild. I'm gonna have to look it up.
And we'll talk about this, but they're selling it third party and then using that for experiments. Different experiments and stuff like that. So
conspiracy.
So scientific experiences. So, and that we may have to do an episode on that.
And you want this genetic engineering has been like, pushed to the wayside because people got wigged out when they heard about cloning sheep. They were just like, ugh, like,
or that spider. Did you see the spider that they cloned, the silks, the one that making, so they have a spider right now and they're doing this, that's creating bulletproof webbing.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So it's just, and then it creates the fiber, and then they take the fiber and they're putting into bulletproof vests.
So you've enhanced the spider.
Yeah, and made it's silk. They made a spider and then like the silkworm and something else and put it together.
Can I ask you then another question?
What's China doing? I guarantee you there's some sheep spiders walking around.
There's probably some half man, half pig thing going on.
I want to go into that Wuhan clinic.
Yeah, what's going on over here? I'm thinking about it. Can we genetically engineer, can we pump electrical signals into a cow and like change their genetics and like their cells so that they release less methane? Stop farting so much or burping?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I'm just saying.
There's potential biological.
I have a great idea. What if plankton, phytoplankton or algae, that loves carbon dioxide, loves it. What if we started electrically charging the ocean and just juicing up all these plankton blooms, like good ones that feed the fish and eat carbon dioxide? Then you can use the blanket of the ocean electrically stimulated to grow this stuff and then decrease the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. Dude, I'm on it. I'm on it this morning. The creativity is flowing. You seeing that though? We just like charging up the water and the plankton's just going. Whoop.
Yeah. And we're sending it information to just go wild, be free.
Yeah, freedom, happiness, grow.
Right. But I mean, I wonder if you could do that on things that are the opposite, like invasive species.
Whoa.
You see what I'm saying?
Now you're on the other side of the sword here.
I am always on the other side of the sword, unfortunately. And not on the tip side.
We're trying to carve a positive path into the future?
No, but that is positive because you have, I mean, you heard about in Michigan, dude, they made the water so clear that it was too clear. Those mussels or whatever that came in there and they were so invasive, they took it over and they were filtering the water so much that you could see down to the bottom. And so fish were like, because you need structure and some murkiness.
Yeah, we're like Asian shore crabs.
Yeah,
they come over in the ballast of ships, and then these things were killing out all the other crabs on the eastern seaboard. Like, it's like all those things. Like, so, and what if you electrically charge them that says, we don't want to be in this area, not good for our cells?
Yes,
yeah, that's interesting.
There's so much potential with this.
But
this is where science does its best work, is when it's focused on biological aspects to raise the level of humanity.
Yeah, to evolve humanity.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And when we're learning from nature, not trying to control nature.
Oh, I love that. That's when you're working with it.
Yes. And that's where we're at our best.